Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Good day and welcome to a fresh edition of Money Radio. It's reaching you on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ubego and we hope you had a wonderful weekend. I'm not alone in the studio, as you can see. I have with me an in-house analyst. She's also the editor of National Economy, Kingsley Ali. Kingsley, welcome to this program. It's Money Radio. Every Monday we highlight, we discuss the front page cover of National Economy, a sister publication, and of course, those also a business paper. Let's have National Economy on our screen. National Economy post 2023 elections. National Economy post 2023 elections. PwC order set economic revival agenda for states. National Economy post 2023 elections. PwC order set economic revival agenda for states. That's the leading story on National Economy. As you can see on the cover, we also have a big map of Nigeria, where it captures all resources from each state, as you can see. And still on the National Economy, we have concerns mount over foreign airlines track funds. Concerns mount over foreign airlines track funds. The story is on page 5 of the National Economy. Money guide, plan your money, plan your future. Money guide, plan your money, plan your future. From the cover of the National Economy, let's look at what the editorial, the slant for the paper, is saying this week. The editorial has climate change stares humanity in the face. As climate change stares humanity in the face. That's the editorial for the paper this week. As climate change stares humanity in the face. For more on the editorial, you have to log on to the website to see what the editorial is all about. Now back to the cover story. 2023, post-2023 elections, PwC order set economic revival agenda for states. Now, Kingston, to you.
Yeah.
That's a lovely topic, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes, Nigeria's present administration will be winding down by May 29. So, this cover story coming now, there's no better time for this cover story to come now. So, what are the economic agenda they that inspires what
Papers and others.
What is the economic agenda?
Yeah, if you remember section 39 of the 1999 Constitution, put the mining sector under the exclusive list in the Constitution. So it means that only the government can issue licenses, get revenue, monitor and regulate the sector. But if you look at the Land Use Act, the states are in control of the land. And this is where the dichotomy lies. And this has been the problem for the years, Well, the state government are saying, it's okay, since only you can issue licenses and collect the revenue. Okay. We own the land. And this is why the dichotomy. And because of this, the mining sector as a whole contributes about 0.3% of GDP. That's
Is it due to the logjam that you just
yeah, because there, for instance, you have incidences of illegal miners.
Yes, you do. Like we have a
Zamfara having a field day because it's now that the state government somehow they decided to stand aloof and watch this things happen. After all, what do they have to gain in the first instance? When after all these things, it's the federal government that will come and collect all the royalties and everything accruing from the process of the sales. So, but now, what the agenda setting is, especially now we have some new governors, making the list now. I think up to 16 of them are about. We have some new governors coming now. These ones are not yet painted. They are coming the way they are, And they are saying that Because if you look at the Mineral Act in the first place, it provides a platform for active participation by the state governments in the mining sector and the mineral sector through this Mineral Resources and Environmental Committee. You know, it provides that this committee should be activated in those states to enable the state governments, participate actively in the mining activities in their respective domains. Unfortunately, many of them complain that they don't have funds to, to take care of the operations of this committee. So because of that, there's no coordination. Absolutely no coordination. It's always this.
And sorry to chip in, what you just pointed out is what many allege is playing out in some of the states like Zamfara, where we have
Yes.
insecurity issues.
Yes.
Many people are attributing these mining, illegal mining activities to these
Simply key into this platform. What is the big problem there? Key into that platform. That's all they are saying. It shouldn't be ambiguous. There's no ambiguity in this thing. But so when they complain, we don't have the money to fund the activities of Mirenko, one begins to wonder, what kind of money do you need to fund an activity?
But what about these the federal government activity? Can't the federal government also widen his own control, or how do you put it, to enhance performance of this miracle? Just as you pointed out, because a situation whereby because it is the same scenario that is playing out in the oil sector. The federal government also is in charge of the oil sector. Is the one that does through NNPC. So in as much as that has become kind of a success story, but not too a success story, can't they also achieve that same feat in other minerals as well?
Yeah, that is why it was captured in the Mining Act. The state government at the time did not protest it. This is an act. It was captured. They didn't just wake up one morning and say, this is what we're going to do. This is how we want to structure this. It was properly captured. There were some levels of consultations before they put together that Mining Act. So, fine, because just like federal government controls the police, they also want to control, business activities going on in those respective states and all the rest of them, So, but they are saying, it's not as though we are coming to take over anything. There's a platform we are giving you to enable you make your own input and also contribute, because while they are here in Abuja doing their thing, it is the state governments that are there with the communities. When a miner goes to, let's say, a state like Ebonyi, he's not doing it in Abuja here, he's doing it in a state. And that state, there's the owner of that land there, is the state government. So invariably, you need the cooperation of the state government and the state actors there, to ensure that even the communities on which side these things are cited are also properly compensated, adequately taken care of. If you're a mining company and you are coming into a state to do your business, you must also know that there's social responsibility part of the work you are going to do, and it must be followed to the letter to ensure that you fulfill that obligation to those communities. And then also, you should also know that because they are the state government, they are in charge there, they know the illegal miners. Let's not fool ourselves. Some of these so-called illegal miners are so organized, and I can bet you the monies they make from what they mine from the ground partly may also have been remitted to, some persons within the government circles, in quotes. Do you understand me? So it is a well-coordinated activity. The only way you can stop it is listen to what the state governments have said here. But then for the state government, we are looking at the ones that are coming in now. Let's put aside all these arguments. Let's forget about this dichotomy. If you have a platform where you can participate actively in the activities that go on in that sector, why not key into that platform? That is what it is all about, so that the sector can move forward. You can't have the abundance of minerals we have in this country and they are still complaining. It is very, very funny. It's laughable. It's as if to say in this country people suffer on purpose. As if they suffer on purpose. So this is what it is all about. That these ones coming in now, please key in, activate this Mirenko in your respective states. Fund their activities. Let us even try this. We have tried the other one. It has not worked. It has all ended up in frustration. We've known that. Of course, we have even seen where helicopters were dropping off illegal miners in Zamfara, and also where they are also collecting gold and selling. Information has that some of this gold they pick from there, they are sold even as far as United Arab Emirates, Dubai, and all the rest of them. So that's to tell you, say network. These illegal miners on their own cannot do it. They may not have the reach. They are just artisans. You just engage them there. But there is somebody who has the reach and the means to take it off from the point where they are mined from the ground to the stages of processing and finally taking them to the places where they will be sold and good revenue will come in. So this is why the charge is on the new governors. Before anything, key into this. Activate all these platforms in your respective states. Let them start this massive engagement again, especially with the communities, especially with the miners, and then let us see what will happen in the next 1 or 2 years.
All right, before we talk further on that, let's go on a break because there's still so much to talk on that cover story in on national economy. Don't go away, let's stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
You're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, the program is Money Radio. Every Monday, we dissect and we discuss a cover story from our sister publication, the National Economy Business Newspaper. With me in the studio always is an in-house analyst and editor for the National Economy, Kinsley Ali. Kinsley, thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much.
your presence. There's so much to talk about, given the fact that the new administration is almost coming in May 29, and there's so much to do to keep our economy running, and that is what the national economy's focus is on today's on this week's paper. It says post 2023 elections, PricewaterhouseCoopers order set economic revival agenda for states. Now, before we went on break, we were talking about how they can actually activate this Mirenco
Yeah.
in various state governments so that they can leverage on these mineral resources. I think there are various states. Nigeria is so blessed. As you can see, the map of Nigeria there on your screen, you can see that there are so many mineral resources that you can think of in all the states of the federation. But fortunately, Nigerians are not doing enough to harness these resources and make money at least from these
Yes.
resources. Now, back to where you were talking before we went on break.
Yeah.
What could actually mobilize, and a situation whereby we also have, Nigerian Governors Forum. What do they talk about? Is it not how to move their respective states forward? Are they not brainstorming on all these, what we are talking about now, just to get additional revenue coming into their states to drive the economy?
Well, I think for most of the time it's more of a political gathering, meeting of the political leaders of the respective states. But the thing is that if you look at, for instance, Enugu has coal in abundance.
Yes.
And of course, we mentioned Zamfara. And of course,
Zamfara has lead,
lead,
it has zinc,
you know,
it has so many gold.
Gold.
It has gold.
yes,
And we have Ondo states
Ondo
like
state,
Ondo,
Ondo,
Edo, we have bitumen.
bitumen,
Yeah,
you know,
and
plenty of them, plenty
Yes.
of these things in very large quantities, you know.
yes.
What they are simply saying, I know, this is about your areas of comparative and competitive advantage.
Advantage.
You know, that if we're able to exploit them, it will, what is oil is already being phased out.
It is.
It's already
we just have
going.
few years to go.
Few years to go.
Because the world is looking at renewable energy,
Energy,
clean energy.
clean energy. So this oil thing is in a very short while it will be addressed in the past tense.
Yes.
All this madness about oil will end. But we're saying that before then, tap into what you have.
Yes.
You have it in abundance. Remove the dichotomy. Leave the argument. Use the platform given to you. That is what PricewaterhouseCoopers are saying.
There's a report, not really a report. There are insinuations that most of these illegal activities or mining activities taking place in some states is actually at the behest of some government, that they are actually mining for some government.
Of course.
Where the government. So what would you say to that?
Yes, of course. Because some miners that were caught in the past, illegal miners, actually disclosed that much. You know, the only thing that most times they fail to name their principal. But the truth of the matter is that, like I mentioned earlier, if you check the network,
there was even a report that the former governor of a state, the northern state, where such strikes, was also actually caught with some huge grams of gold.
Gold. It's not, see, that's why I told you this illegal mining will never end. It is not about the small man you see.
But that is it, that is a laxity on the part of the federal government.
The federal government is helpless. You know, when we started here, I mentioned, I told you, say, see, the argument is that, okay, you can award the licenses, you can monitor, you can collect the revenue, but you own the land. So in other words, I read a case of a husband and wife who had issues. While the woman was claiming, this is the land, it's my own. The man said, I built the house. So when the court dissolved the marriage, the woman went to say, okay, I need my land. The man said, no problem. By the time the woman got home, the man used bulldozer and brought down the structure. He said, this is your land. I built the house, so I'm bringing it down. So it's just, this is the kind of scenario we are, living with at the moment. So, but what we're saying is that these criminal elements within the system, they are not invisible. Forget about, okay, fine. Today here they have arrested them. Tomorrow what happened to them, you don't know.
Yes.
They're
in their homes.
They're in their homes sleeping. The next day hear, it is illegal miners, illegal, okay, they say they are going to form them into unions to coordinate their activities. The same people, these are just mere press for the press, They will come and do grant interviews for the paparazzi and all the rest of the paper. Behind the scene, those that are running the show, the real big boys are telling them, don't worry, you soon go back to the trenches there. Because there are a lot to mine. We have gold, we have iron, we have a lot of things. A lot, and these things are not even being used in this country.
No, they are not.
Funny enough, this country, despite the fact that we have all those things in abundance, they still export them. They still import.
Oh yes.
They import
even gas. We still import gas. Meanwhile, Nigeria has a deposit that can take us for 60 good years.
I told you, in this country, those that claim to lead that know how to make people to suffer on purpose. We are just suffering on purpose. So, despite the fact that you have the abundance of this,
there's stirring news because the president-elect said he's not going to run the government of unity, but the government of competence.
Well,
something to cheer about.
Well, until then, it remains within the realm of, speculation. Maybe he could, maybe he may not. We don't know yet. Because to me, this is just made cheap talk. They always come, they will tell you flowery things to calm you, especially when there's so much tension all over the whole place. The truth of the matter is that if he means well and he means business, the first thing to do is that he should know those that are the key players in this sector. He knows them. He knows them. He knows those that are involved in illegal mining of our resources.
No,
not the small man in the streets.
No, what about the Ministry of Solid Minerals, Mines and Solid Minerals?
Yes.
Why is it not also going the whole hog, to rein these
criminal elements
industry in?
Yes. The problem is about staff, about capacity. If you touch Ministry of Mines and Steel now, they will tell you they don't have enough staff to man the states.
And they don't even have money.
And they don't have the money. So what are you going to do? You don't have the staff, you don't have the money. So what are you doing? Do you understand me? And those at the state level, they so love it. This kind of handicap makes them happy. Do you understand me?
Yes.
When the federal government is this handicapped, they love it. It means they're going to have a field day doing illegal operations there and harvesting all the profits to themselves.
Yes.
The money doesn't go into the state government coffers.
It
goes into their own personal pockets. This is why whoever is coming, we still don't know, because the case of
this issue of land review, before we go to the studio, I saw a report and somebody was calling for a review of the land use act.
Yeah.
What do you say to that? Because just like what you said, I've seen situations whereby for those that are into road construction, all these construction companies, Do you know that before you can, this gravel,
Mhm.
they hew it from rocks,
Mhm.
and before you can actually use dynamite for this construction companies, federal government ministry of must be present.
They must be
They have
present.
to take
Mhm.
measure, and
Yes.
because payment is also made to the
Yes.
federal government
Federal
corporate,
government.
that
Yeah.
should tell you how stringent that
Yeah.
is.
Yes. Yes.
So, in this issue of solid minerals, what can actually be done? Like I was saying,
Well, it's obvious
Mhm.
that what we were doing before is not working.
Yes.
Except those who thrive in corruption, then they will make all the noise they are going to do something. At the end of the day, nothing will happen. But if the incoming regime means well, they know what to do.
So we do.
Incoming administration
Administration.
means well. If the incoming administration, they know what to do. They know what to do. They know how to rein in those criminals. They know the people that are involved. They know it's not the small man you see in the
But obviously, the federal, don't you think the federal government is laid back, but just maybe it doesn't see development of solid mines and solid minerals as a money spinner?
I
I
think
so.
it's about politicizing the whole thing. It's about
They
compensating.
don't see it as a money spinner.
No,
I think so.
they do. You see, if you know the way they play politics in this country, how Mr. A become governor, Mr. B become governor, and all the politics of patronage. That is what we have in this country. So, of course, the governor that helped you
But
to possibly.
if I may chip in, it shouldn't be in the sense that the money at the end of the day goes into the federal government's coffers. So why would federal government wants to politicize or play politics with it?
They are going to play politics. We're looking at now why the state governments are not cooperating and why nothing is happening to them. Do you understand me? Because how far can
Because
you push
from
them?
what the utterances of President Muhammad Buhari during the onslaught of the peak of insurgencies in Zamfara State, they said they are going to withdraw the licenses. And so many people were perplexed that, they have already even issued licenses to these miners, of which Nigerians are not aware, because since it's a collective one, because people were of the opinion that, when it comes to oil money, it comes to the center and it's shared among everybody.
Do you even remember?
Now, the licenses, you have given license, nobody's aware. So what happens to the money that has been coming from that place?
Do you even remember the Zamfara governor coming up on air to say the gold that they mined from the ground belongs to the state?
Okay.
That was an argument. The Zamfara state governor at the time was contesting that everything they mined from their ground belongs to them. It became an argument. So the president can come up, say his own, but they know at the end of the day, the man who owns the land and controls the environment is the one that holds the district.
Perhaps we just talked about reviewing. There was a report somebody stated that there is need to review the Land Use Act. What should we expect when it's people canvassing for review? What do you expect to happen?
It's just about that dichotomy. If you're going to review it,
that everything should belong to the state.
No, they have to, because obviously, like this mineral resources and environmental committee thing, the states have already frustrated that one by failing to activate them in the respective domains. They have already frustrated that one. Now, let's go with the position of the North on this thing, where they are talking about reviewing the Land Use Act and also that dichotomy, removing it. There should be a stakeholders meeting again. It's not what you just do in one room, call the people, some people you feel you need to invite. Let there be a broad meeting, broad stakeholder engagement, where you can get their inputs. Gentlemen, this one has not been working. We have abundance of all these things. Unfortunately, government is not getting revenues any longer from this. 0.3% to GDP is rubbish. It's utter rubbish. Meanwhile, what is moved out is more than 0.3% to your GDP. So it's about broad stakeholder engagement. Get them again, look at this, see how you can tweak it a little to further everybody. But say you provided a platform, they will tell you, are you giving me a platform when I'm in charge of my land? So when you bring down miner, they say no problem. Multiple taxations, they start taxing them. They give them steep conditions to operate in that environment. They make it virtually impossible for them to run any business activity in that place or run their operations. Since it's okay, they are not contesting anything with you. That's why they were that section 39 of that 1999 Constitution revisited again. That is what they want. And I don't think it will be so much of a sacrifice if government should listen to them. Let's go back to the drawing table again. These laws are made by man. They are not cast in stone. Do you understand me? It's easy. They can be reviewed. Let's review some of these things so that money will start coming. Let them stop playing politics with everything in this country, because it's killing the economy. And the funny thing is that those that should be suffering are the ones that are living fat, flying, going over because they are getting. I mean, when you hear a politician telling you he has never collected government contract before, he has never done this. You know, they always say they are not corrupt. Go and check very well. They are making profit from illegal mining activities.
Wow.
Thank you
so much. Our time is up. They've already been signaling us that our time is up. Well, viewers, you've heard it all, but there's so much more to it. Just log on to National Economy's website to read more on the stories for this week with other interesting stories as well. Kingsley, it's been a pleasure having you on the program, and I look forward to seeing you same time next week.
Yeah.
Viewers, this is where we end today's program. I'm waiting for the table. See you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.